Hi, everybody. A few people, they were asking me to talk more about my gardening escapades or the result of my gardening escapades, and so I'm going to do a video on that. These are some of the things that I've grown this summer. Everything you see here is homegrown. I love it. It's so fun to have organic food. You'll see some tomatoes. I always try to have a variety of tomatoes. And these are volunteers, meaning I didn't plant these. They were probably in the ground, the seeds were from the year before, and then they just popped up. I'll be enjoying those. We even have some grapes this year, delish. These are so good, they're so concentrated, really tasty. And this is an avocado. I got a little too eager. This is not really going to be ready for a couple months. I mean, it'll probably have grown, but I just got excited. So it'll probably still be fine. We'll let it ripen, and I'll be enjoying that. And this is was another volunteer. That's what I love it. If you keep gardening year after year, over time you get volunteers. So, that's always really fun. I think every single pumpkin that I grew this year, with the exception of one that I'm about to show you, was a volunteer. And I thought, this looks to me like a zucchini. And originally it kind of had you can see the coloring of it. I thought it was one of those zucchinis that was sort of green and white speckled, and I got really ready to make a zucchini cake, and then zucchini gluten-free, no flour, zucchini cake, and then I cut into it. I'm like, it's orange inside. So this is a pumpkin, and I'm excited to have that. Isn't it cool, the different varieties of food? A lot of times in the grocery stores, we get used to seeing one thing or one type of fruit, and there's a whole bunch of variety that you can use when you grow your own food. Now this is kind of cool, right? So I got a kick out of growing this year. This is one squash that I did grow deliberately, and this apparently was an extinct pumpkin. So you would have seen this maybe 600 years ago in the Americas. And they thought it was extinct, but then they found some seeds, and a few people got adventuresome, and they decided that they were going to grow this squash, and now it's back on the market. So I'm looking forward to tasting this. Supposedly it's like a honeydew melon. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, that was really cool. So, a lot of fun things. I'll just show you all, It's just so fun to grow your own food. The flavor is really like nothing else. There's just a vibrancy and just sort of a burst of flavor. So if you ever get a chance, I really encourage you to do it. Even if you live in an apartment, you can grow something by a window, or if you have a patio, you could just get a little bit of dirt and grow things outside that way. Now, a lot of people ask me, or they say to me, wow, you have such a green thumb. I never grow things. Everything dies around me. First of all, it's probably not good to say it that way, right? But second of all, I don't think that's really true. I remember when I lived in Los Angeles County, I got a plant and it didn't work out. I wasn't in the zone. I wasn't, used to growing things. And I probably thought that about myself. But when I moved a little bit more out into the country, I started to grow things, and I found that I really enjoyed growing things, and they seemed to enjoy growing around me. But there is a secret, and I want to tell you the secret here today. I hope you guys are ready for my gardening secret. And as you know, I'm a therapist, so I also like to use gardening metaphors to talk about life. But this is very metaphorical. The secret I'm about to tell you, it's a great metaphor for life too. So here's the secret. If you want things to grow, what you need to do is pay attention to them. Seems so simple, right? You probably thought I was going to tell you about magical incantations that I was uttering over the food, or a special fertilizer, or certain watering schedule, or sunlight. And all those things are important. Never tried the magical incantations, but okay, maybe that one's important. But what you really want to do is notice the things that you've planted. Look at them. Look at how they're doing, right? Are they wilting a little bit? Does it look like it needs water? Does it need to be angled a little bit more towards the sun? Yeah, maybe you could throw a handful of fertilizer on it. Maybe you want to do a quick Google search and find out how to grow the best tomatoes. You know, the key is really what you put your focus on, and your plants are going to respond accordingly. So if you put something in the ground and then you leave it there for a month and you don't notice it or pay attention to it, it probably won't grow, right? But if you notice it every day, you look at it and go, gosh, it looks good. And maybe you don't water it that day, maybe you do water it that day, you know, depending on what, during the context of your internet research, maybe you've learned how much to water, or maybe it's just pretty obvious. It's hot out, you want to give it a good water, right? You want to notice it. And that's the secret. And you know, also I like to plant a variety of different things. You know, some plants I've had incredible success with, and there are a few it just doesn't seem to work out. But you don't want to dismiss all of your gardening potential just because that one thing you grew didn't work out that one time 5 years ago that you tried to grow it, right? You want to pay attention to it. It's so worth it. That bite of delicious food that is full of flavor, and you know it's organic and you've spent the time. It is just such a powerful, positive thing. Now, the metaphor for life here is that whole saying. Let's see if I can get this right now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it. Energy flows where attention goes, right? So you put your attention on something, that's like a spotlight. You're making it bigger. You're illuminating that which has your attention, right? So if there are things in life that you want to grow, you want to energize them. You want to put attention to them. It's great. A great first step is to have your goal, to know what you want, but then you got to water it, right? Then you got to pay attention to it. Then you got to notice, well, what does it need, right? How can I tweak this? Maybe you need to pull up some weeds. Maybe there's some things that are crowding out that thing you're trying to grow, and you have to make room for it. But you want to put your attention on things that you want to grow, right? You don't want to put it on the shelf. So that is the secret for gardening. It's my secret anyway. And that's also an incredible secret of life, I think. So, you know, go out there and garden, and hey, maybe you even want to think about what you're growing right now and how you can help it to grow even better, both out in the garden and in your life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. Please let me know if you have any questions. Bye-bye.